Business Spotlight, brought to you by Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon.
I'm Sonya Farrell. This is Business Spotlight in partnership with Cross Rhythms City Radio and Baba Baboon. Joining me in the studio this week, we've got the lovely Rachel Newman, who is from Pinc College. Hello, Rachel.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in on Business Spotlight. So, Rachel, before we go anywhere, what is Pinc College?
Okay, what is Pinc College? So Pinc College is a neurodivergent arts college. So we mainly work with students from 16 to 25 years of age.
Okay.
All our students have an EHCP, so have some form of SEND needs, and a love of the creative arts industries, be that traditional creative arts, paints, oil painting, pastels, to digital and animation, and gaming art. So a wide variety of anything art, really.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm sure there's lots that do go on at Pinc College, and we could probably be here till the end of the year, once we get started. But Rachel, I know as well you are based in Hanley. You were based down at the Smithfield, and not far from the studio here at Cross Rhythms. But what kind of through the arts and through the college, what kind of opportunities did the students actually get from Pinc College?
So our key partners who we work with are heritage and cultural partners. In particular in Hanley, our key partner has been the Potteries Museum and Art Gallery.
Yeah.
So we work really closely with providing the cultural and heritage sector opportunities based in the museum and art gallery and with other creative industries. So some really strong examples of partnership working based in Hanley town centre in particular is the 100 years celebration. So the mural that's being prepared by our students with local artists, that's on display in the Pottery Shopping Centre. And hopefully those kind of opportunities are what we're really thriving to establish in the city centre. We have a cohort of students who are really keen to make an impact on their local community, and that's kind of what our programme is all about, those future aspirations for our local young people.
I mean, even being linked to something which is, it's quite exciting, 100 years of the city of Stoke-on-Trent, and some of your students have actually been a part of that and a part of history. I mean, again, how did they sort of receive that or accept that attention, perhaps, should I say?
So I suppose some of that attention is really hard for our students. Our students have come from the marginalised background, so some of our students have for whatever reasons, individual, really struggled in mainstream education, right? Which is what Pinc College is about. We are a specialist provision for those students who have struggled. So receiving that attention or having their artwork recognised in such a public domain has had a real huge impact on their self-esteem and confidence. Some of these young people were isolated from their local community before they joined Pinc College. Now they're having such huge positive impacts in the community. They now have aspirations and hope to gain employment, go and work within the cultural sector within Stoke-on-Trent and the wider UK nationally, through online arts, etc. So for some of our students that's been hard to accept, but the more projects that they get involved in, the more businesses that can give us opportunities for collaborative working. It might be work-related tasks or project briefs that they want to set for our students, so they get access to that employment and employability skills, or even work experience placements and offering supported internships to then meaningful and gainful employment. That's Pinc College's impact outcomes.
And then if a business, is looking or wants to learn more about maybe how to partner with Pinc College and work with the students, what is that process? I mean, when you say work experience, how does that work?
So it's various different ways, really. So first and foremost is if there's a business who's interested in some form of collaboration, contact our campus lead. All the contact details are all on our website. And then the work experience or work-related activities can look very different and very individualised for different businesses. So we could have students who work on live project briefs for a short period of time. So it might be once a week for 6 weeks. They are dedicating some of their study programme time to a project. So, for example, the Muriel project was run over 12 weeks on a Monday every week. So the students from design process to implementation worked with a local artist and the shopping centre team, and that ran over 12 weeks. We have some students who have worked on more long-term projects where they're based in a business for a whole academic year. So, for example, local experience was one of our students worked in the Keep It Local business in the shopping centre. So they had access 5 days a week to all the different aspects of that customer services role, stocking shelves, preparing events, gallery exhibitions, day-to-day running of the business. And again, that can be 1 day a week, it could be 6 weeks in the year, it could be 1 week every term. We have a cohort in the Hanley campus of 22 students. So we're looking for lots of different types of opportunities throughout the academic year. But we also are looking for full-time supported internship placements. So they run an academic year from September to July. They come with a employee mentor from Pinc College, and then they would be placed as an employee with that business. Obviously, it's part of a study programme, so it's funded by the local authority. But they become their employee for the year, and then hopefully can gain meaningful employment at the end, or voluntary work, ideally employment, or it might give them opportunities to gain employment in other businesses because they've had that year's experience of working somewhere.
And from a business side then, if they're looking, like I say, to work with a student from Pinc College, when you mention there like a mentor, what support does that actually give to a business?
So we will have an employee mentor that's a job coach from the college who work really closely with the students. But the support we can offer for businesses, we will deliver and help support the business in how to work with students with SEND needs, and in particular in neurodivergent community. So supporting with strategies, how best to prepare young people for meetings, for work product, what's the processing procedures. So if you have got a team meeting and you want our students to be involved in that, what kind of visuals can we use? So all those strategies and skills that we use in the education sector, how they can be transferred in your employment environment, so you can offer a successful placement for a neurodivergent student.
And does it matter on the size or even industry sector of the business?
Size, no. It can be any size business. Industry sector, obviously we're creative arts, cultural and heritage, so anything that comes under that umbrella really. So it might be digital, it might be traditional arts, it might be events, social media, marketing. It could be projects about changing the way your buildings look. So for example, with art projects, murals, but doing those kind of live briefs give our students the interaction with the employment world, so they're learning behaviours and attitudes that you take into the workplace then.
And I was just going to come on to that as well, just something else to ask you there, Rachel, is if a student is working with a business, do they necessarily though have to be actually in the business working there sort of every single day, actually physically working within the business, or can they work remotely?
No, not necessarily have to be in the business every day. So obviously the creative industries is traditionally we might be given a set brief. So students can take that brief away, go and work. We have campus space where our students and supported internships can access the campus still. Some students may already have their own studios at home, so they can do some remote working. It might be doing communal working. So obviously our latest partnership with Smithfield Works, there's lots of communal workspaces. So we want every opportunity that could potentially give our students exposure to work life moving forward. So they are a part of the working community when they leave Pinc College. And
it sounds from what you're saying as well, there's quite a few flexible options in which, businesses could maybe look into. And help and support the students. Yeah,
definitely. We pride as part of our colleges that it is very individualised, and it's really key for the collaboration to work, that it's open, honest discussions. What do you need and how can we best support you so that you get the full benefit of having a supported internship or student on work experience.
So you've mentioned, working with an artist and with the potteries and everything, but what about other projects? Has there been anything else which has been quite sort of significant at all, if you can pinpoint anything, and describe the experience that has happened maybe earlier this year?
One of our key partners is Reform Heritage.
Yes.
Reform Heritage host obviously Middleport Pottery, which is how we got to know them. So that's where our second campus in Stoke is, and an exciting partnership that is about to unfold is the regeneration of Bethesda Chapel. So the long-term plans for Pinc College is to establish the educational facility at Bethesda Chapel. So our students will be based in there doing level 2 and level 3 arts diplomas. There will hopefully be live exhibition space throughout the academic year, so our students will have their own space to exhibit, curate, design, work with many partners hopefully from around the city who will be key partners in establishing regular exhibitions there.
I mean, that sounds amazing. And again, I'm getting a bit thinking, I want to be in there, because you're in such an historical, and culture place, and to actually learn or work in there as well, and to have that experience day in, day out, again, it just gives something else, doesn't it, to your students potentially.
Definitely. It's... like I was saying earlier, a lot of our students have really struggled in the mainstream society within mainstream education provision. But a key part of our methodology, utilising our local assets, buildings that our local people should be having a real influence in and being a part of, not just for employment value, but also to feel safe and recognised in that community. Pinc College is great, but we're not going to be here forever. We're not going to be that young person's safe space forever. So if we can open up these other community buildings that students can then thrive in and be making a really meaningful contribution to, it's a win-win situation for everybody involved.
And it sounds as well, not just opportunity, but a massive inspiration to others.
Huge.
So, Rachel, just looking ahead, we've mentioned Bethesda. You're now based down at Smithfield as well.
Yes.
Anything else that you are allowed to share right now, or potentially could be coming up in the near future and for 2026?
So, yes, I can share. So we are predominantly Pinc College as creative arts college, but we are also about to launch our Woodlands programme. So we have a campus based in Staffordshire already that's based at Staffordshire Wildlife Trust in the Woseley Centre there. We are looking for premises in Stoke-on-Trent to try and expand on that Woodlands provision. So nature and art seem to play quite a large predominant area within the neurodivergent community. It's feedback and research that came from our students that said we really like the arts, but nature is really our go-to as well. Again, ecology, wildlife qualifications, so they're aspirational. Achieving level 2, level 3 qualifications alongside maths and English GCSEs as well. So lots of exciting opportunities, and yeah.
What kind of, just in case anyone is listening though, what kind of spaces or other organisations perhaps would you be, you'd be able to link with for the nature side of it? So
ideally it's wildlife trusts, anything that's in a countryside or wildlife kind of environment. So we're based at the Woseley Centre at the moment. We're looking at a farm that's going to be based in Cheshire East. So it's a working farm. So again, create, opportunities for employment in the future. We also, a bit further afield, we have got one that we're looking at in Yorkshire as well.
Okay.
But because we're Stoke-on-Trent based with the creative arts, we're really keen to find suitable venue in this area. We've found that having close connections and links with the campuses really works for partnership and collaboration team.
Yeah, definitely.
But huge impact for those local communities then as well.
Definitely. And before you go, Rachel, I just need you to let everybody know, if there is anyone listening, whether they just want to learn more, whether it's a business who would be looking to maybe partner with you, or an organisation who may have some space, you never know, or a big creative space, or whether it's in the wildlife. How can they find you, Rachel, and how can they get in touch? Is it via a website, social media, or an email?
Yeah, so our social media and website is all, it's pinccollege.co.uk. Email addresses, my name, Rachel.Newman, pinccollege.ac.uk.
Just going to butt in there. So how are we spelling Pinc?
It is Pinc.
Pinc, Pinc College.
Pinccollege.ac.uk.
Okay.
And then we're on Instagram, Facebook, all the usual social medias. So please do go and have a look. We've got some really great videos on there that really showcase the impact that we're having for our parents, families, and partners.
Rachel, thank you so much for coming in on Business Spotlight. You're not too far away now, so I'm sure you'll be back in the future.
Probably.
That's Rachel Newman of Pinc College here on Business Spotlight with me, Sonya Farrell.
Business Spotlight, shining a light on our local business community. Brought to you by Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon.